All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, it is Late Night with Chig, where I talk to you about rumors and news generally around the footballing arena. Yeah, I changed my tagline for Late Night with Chig. We're not really gonna talk so much about transfer rumors. Yes, they're gonna be inevitably part of the stuff that we talk about, but you know, here you're not going to hear about Daniel Yakomo from River Plate B that's linked with Arsenal. You're not going to hear about that on this particular show. What I am going to talk to you about is just some of the stuff that's been flying about this weekend that you guys have asked me about on previous streams. So I hope you guys are well. Apologies for this coming so late. I've had a rough start to the day and I've just been trying to recover ever since. But I'm glad I got a good couple of hours on FIFA streams. That should be now uploaded onto the members area. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Speaking of which, some people have been saying that they've been unable to sign up on the members area. I think I know what is behind that. I would say try and give it a shot now. If it still doesn't work, let me know. And I think it might have something to do with the fact that I've not created enough badges, which, as stupid as it sounds, I actually think that is the reason. So I will go ahead and do that and make sure I sort that out. It was always something I planned to do and come back to. I just didn't know I had to do it straight away. But I think that's the reason behind it. So bear with me and I will look into that some more. In the meantime, for this video, please do stick a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button as we go on. And for me, this is what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about really the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang situation, the contractual situation. Now, you heard me, Diesel and Ola talk about this a few weeks ago, where I talked about the fact that, we had players who, in Aubameyang and Saka, that were in the last year of their contract, and how did it get this bad? How did we allow it to get this far? And, who ultimately, if we could only secure one of them, who would be the most important person to secure? And I was pleasantly surprised, actually, because I think most people agreed that as much as we want Aubameyang to stay, and we do want Aubameyang to stay, I think every Arsenal fan wants Aubameyang to stay. Actually, the most crucial out of the two is probably Saka for the long-term factor of what he provides. And I still feel that. I think Aubameyang is the best player in our team, but I think actually the more important person to secure down to a long-term deal is Saka. Because we've got to protect the talents that we do produce. I've always said it from the day one. For me, I think you can almost blag if an older player wants to leave and join a Barcelona, join a Real Madrid, join a top team. You can blag it. If an 18-year-old decides that actually he doesn't want his future at this club, for me, that's more of a painful message to take as a team. That even an 18-year-old doesn't believe in us as a team. Fast forward to today. Just out of the sheer blue, I think Aubameyang had just had enough and came out. He did an interview with a French publication. I've forgotten the name of that publication. And he basically just said, listen, as far as he's concerned, the club hold all the keys, which is literally word for word what he said. And that he's not been offered any new contract. That yes, there have been some talks that have taken place. And he did accept that some of those talks were most recently, but that he had not been offered any new contract as of yet. And that in his mind at the moment, he's still trying to decide what to do. I must admit, for me, I am flabbergasted that this situation has happened again. And I might have to start taking back some of the things I've said about Van Persie over the years. Van Persie earlier this year came out in BT Sports and said, listen, maybe Arsenal fans are not aware of this. I was never offered a new contract. And I'll be honest, when I first heard it, I was like, all right, bullshit. right? Because I remember for time we were hearing that Arsenal were down there on their knees begging for this guy to stay up until a certain point, and then Wenger just said, "All right, cool, we need to make a decision here," and they sold him to Man United, a decision which a lot of Arsenal fans still to this day don't forgive Arsene Wenger for. Um, it was we did something similar with Aubameyang, and it seems like we're going to do just something similar with Adebayor, and it seems like we're about to do the same thing with Aubameyang. For me, the club makes no sense. This is what I don't understand. Even if your long-term strategy is okay, I know Aubameyang is killing it now. You want to do like a Moneyball type of thing. If you watch that movie, you understand that expression, right? You want to do a Moneyball sort of thing. It's like, all right, yeah, Aubameyang's killing it now, but he's heading towards 31 years old. You know, maybe long term we need to cash in on him now, get rid of him, and it will help us be able to fund the rest of the team and strengthen the rest of the team. I sort of understand that thought process because, as I said last year for me, I've always said the same thing. If Aubameyang did not want to stay, and that was the prerequisite I put on that. If Aubameyang did not want to stay, I would sell him for top dollar and get in as much money as possible and attempt to replace those goals. Because for all those people saying, "Oh, but how do you replace Aubameyang's goals?" Mate, whether it's this year or next year, you face the same problem. So you may as well try and make that start this year. You know, for all those people saying, "Oh, well, I'd hold on to him for next year and let him go for free." Guys, we're ninth with the man. Like we're ninth with the man. Then the other counter attack to that is, "Oh, well, exactly. So imagine how low we'd be without him." Football doesn't work like that. Just because you don't have Aubameyang's goals doesn't mean that means that no one is capable of scoring goals in Arsenal Football Club. It doesn't work like that. It just means that the goals will be a little bit more shared around. Granted, we will probably score less, but that's where you hope that people like your Martinellis, yes, it's a lot to put on the young man. That's where you hope that they will step up in place of Aubameyang. And of course, you have that money to put in a replacement, to score to buy a replacement for Aubameyang. So yeah, I think from my perspective, what I find hugely frustrating about this is if that was your long-term plan, okay. So why make him captain? Like, why? Oh my God. Oh, it's so frustrating. Arsenal make the same stupid errors year in, year out, year in, year out. And as much as people, and I'm the first usually, as much as people like to blame Ivan the Weasel, at some point you have to say, hold up, this is just a deep-seated tactic that we do. Like, how can you say to yourself, how can you sit there and say to yourself and say, all right, well, he's the best player in the team. He's not committed to this club long term, but he's the best player in the team, so I'm going to make him captain. It makes no form of sense. I don't care if he's the most influential player in that team. So has he signed the team? No. So why would you make him captain? What message does that send to the young players in that team? That you don't need to be that committed to the club in order to be captain. It doesn't send a good example. It doesn't set a good message. And we do it every single year. So it wasn't even so much that we haven't offered him a new contract, which, yes, I find unbelievable that we've not offered him a new contract. Like, what are you talking to him about? You're talking to him about a hypothetical. You don't even put a deal in front of him. Put a deal in front of him. And some would say, yeah, but the climate is very, very different now. Here's the other thing. Arsenal, for me, will never do what is required to be successful. Because sometimes you just have to be ruthless. The fact that we're finding difficulty letting go of a 33-year-old substandard defender just tells me everything I need to know about the club. So over the weekend, at the start of the weekend, we started hearing rumours that Arsenal started entering talks with Lacazette. Now, regardless of your opinion of Lacazette, and I don't quite crap on him the way everybody else does. I don't think you become a crap player overnight, right? But it's safe to say, since he started Arsenal, the player we thought we were getting from Lyon has not transpired into the player playing for Arsenal. An opportunity, in spite of all of that, has presented itself to bring in a quality player who actually deludedly wants to join the club. And Arsenal are sitting there twiddling their thumbs like, well, maybe we should enter talks with him, because if we lose Aubameyang, then we should keep Lacazette. For me, I'd rather the ambition. I'd rather the bravery. I'd rather them say, you know what, all right, cool. You know, for whatever reason, we've decided we're not going to renew Aubameyang's contract. We are going to sell Lacazette because we need Thomas Partey and we don't have 45 million, right? These are the decisions you make. And then you say to yourself, all right, cool, well, maybe I'm going to get a goal-scoring winger, or I'm going to get Edouard from Celtic, or I'm going to get a Jonathan David, who supposedly we've had initial talks with, who's a young player. I wouldn't want to see a young player leading our line without something there. So at least you bring in someone who, at least you can start to build a young team around him, right? Go and secure this player. Then if Okan Goku is the guy you want to actually spend some money on, you need to start selling some players. It's not like we don't have players to sell. You know, I don't care what anyone tells me. Mustafi can fetch at least 15 million. He is 27 years old. Yes, all right, he's got a year left on his contract. Yeah, all right, he's crap. He's 27 years old. This boy can fetch at least 15 million. 10 to 15 million. I think we could all safely say that. Right? Rob Holding, you guys know, I'd probably sell Rob Holding, to be honest. I just feel like, for me, there seems to be a pattern of, it takes him a while. You get him up to the pace of understanding where he's like, okay, he seems to be getting it. He picks up a bad injury. Then it takes him an extra long time to get back up to the standard he had before he had that injury. And it just seems to be a vicious cycle with him, you know? So he's English. He's got a couple of years left on the contract. This is another one you can get 20 to 25 million for. Let's just be real here. All right, let's be modest. 20 million here. 15 to 20 million. He's English. He's got a couple of years left. He's 24 years old. You ain't telling me someone like a West Ham ain't gonna bid 15 to 20 million for him. So you say to yourself, all right, genuinely, let's make some genuine decisions here. Is Granit Xhaka good enough? What could he fetch us? Is Hector Bellerin good enough? He's been here for what? 7 years? No, tell a lie. He's been here since 2011. 9 years? What he's shown us in 9 years. Is he getting any better? No? Why don't I sell it? Because I know that both of the Milan clubs are after him. If I can get 30 million euros for him, that's some cash right there. I mean, this is not hard. This ain't hard. Instead Arsenal are making stupid decisions. Like they're buying a Southampton right back, where they know deep down this Southampton right back is never going to be fit to play the season. Only Arsenal could take an L like that. They've literally paid, what is it, a £4 million low fee just for this idiot to use our medical health care and then go back to Southampton or wherever the heck he's going to end up going. We make the same stupid errors, regardless of who's in charge. The same errors. And this is where I love my brother, but this is where I completely and utterly disagree with Lee. This is now becoming a Stan Kroenke problem, because this has happened too often under his watch. These are his employees. And yeah, while they need to take the brunt of the blame, he also does, because this is his appointment. This was his strategy to put this supposedly amazing team of Spanish Del Boy and Asian Ivan together, because supposedly this was going to be some kind of dream team. But it seems like an absolute nightmare. Making the same stupid decisions, making the same stupid choices. Meanwhile, you got someone like Aubameyang, like Ratted. What am I even still here for? It's not like Inter Milan are that much of a better team than us. But heck, probably behind the scenes, they look much more organized. They look like they know what they're doing. They look like they have some kind of ambition. If I'm Aubameyang, I'm probably sat there thinking, boy, I'm going Italy, man, loudest. Well, on paper, why would he leave us for Inter Milan? They're not particularly a bigger club than us. But if you're sat there, if you're him, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. And this is the thing, and it frustrates me because I know deep down, and somebody wanted me to comment on this on my FIFA stream. I'll comment on it now. I started hearing some stories yesterday. But I ain't gonna lie, my illness is setting, my cough is getting worse. I could not be asked to comment on it. And that was the fact that Barcelona are now starting to look at Thomas Partey. Mark my words, Barcelona don't need or want Thomas Partey. But they want to just take him off the market because they recognize that he's a good player. I guarantee he ain't playing no games for them. Just for the heck of it. They'll take him off the market just for the heck of it. They don't use players like that. Barcelona have never been a team that uses powerful players. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They tend to have them as part of the squad, but they prefer their intricate, small, nimble players. They prefer that. They just prefer that. That's just the way they operate. That's the model that Wenger has tried to recreate unsuccessfully many, many times. So what do they need Thomas Partey for, other than to take him off the market? But they recognize that, boy, he's a good player. He could be a threat. 45 million is not bad for a 27-year-old who's entering the prime of his career and who has good quality about him. We just take him off the market. It's just a power play. And mark my mistake, mark my words. Don't think other teams aren't looking at to do the same thing. I half expect City to do the same thing. They probably look at him and think, we had a nice little run when Yaya Toure was in the squad. Fernandinho is not going to be around forever. Let's just go and pick up Thomas Partey. And it's going to piss me off because I know what's going to happen. Some shit like that's going to happen. And then you're going to have people saying, oh, Chig, we had no chance of getting Partey. Bullshit. If we were decisive, which is the thing that Arsenal struggle with the most, if we were decisive and said, all right, we're going to get Partey. We're going to get Partey because he said he wants to come to us. His price is not beyond the realm of possibility. We'll pay that money now and sell later because we need to get people off the books anyway. We'll sell later. 45 million is not that hard to raise for a club the size of Arsenal. I don't care if they don't have a European football. Instead of thinking that way, they're just dithering. The same dithering that they always do. The same dithering that we always used to blame Wenger for. It's a club mentality. They are a bunch of ditherists. And some people will say, yeah, but to be fair, Chig, to be fair, the season's not finished. They ain't stopping someone like Chelsea. They're making moves, bruv. And yeah, all right, cool. They've got a bit of loose cash. Are you telling me that Arsenal can't have some sort of little side agreement? We know, for example, they signed George Lewis. Why can't they do that for Thomas Partey? Someone who will instantly come in the team and improve that team just by signing him. Just by signing him. A player who wants to come to the club. But Arsenal have this new habit of letting players go that want to come to the club. See Mr. Conte, one player who I will never forget that interview. That's why I can't think of Granit Xhaka without thinking of Conte. I will never forget that interview. They came out as soon as he signed for Chelsea. To be honest, I thought I was going to Arsenal. It broke my heart when I heard that. And then last summer, it was all about Hakim Ziyech. In my mind, I was thinking to myself, bruh, this guy is 10 times the player at Mesut Ozil's, right? All right, we don't have a right winger. This was before Pepe, remember. We don't have a right winger. Buy him instead of Mkhitaryan. Go and buy him because he's 10 times the player of Mkhitaryan. Go and do something. This is a player that said, for some stupid reason, that Arsenal's one of his dream clubs. This is on a video that not even Chelsea fans will dispute. Another player, by the way, we've lost out to Chelsea. Another player. Arsenal dithering. No, we're going to go for Pepe. All right, so you went for Pepe. And don't get me wrong. Please don't see this as a Pepe bashing, right? Please don't see this as a Pepe bashing. I still think Pepe will come good. But why did you not even consider a much cheaper, let's be real here, a much cheaper version, a much cheaper right winger? Why? It didn't even occur. At no point did I ever see Arsenal make a bid, Arsenal made moves, Arsenal are interested in Hakim Ziyech. It never happened. This player was 26 million last summer. All we needed was for Arsenal to be like, all right, cool. This is the same team that complains about they don't have money. There's your 26 million right there. The player's been killing it in the Champions League. What's the problem? Though we're gonna spend more than double that for a player that, let's be real here, apart from one season, has been highly untested. The moves make no sense. Even if you said to yourself, all right, cool, we don't want to go for a Ziyech because we want to go for a Zaha. You guys know I don't particularly rate Zaha, but at least the boy is proven in the league to an extent. All right? At least he's proven in the league to an extent. That would have made some form of sense. There's just a pattern of that just whoever is behind the strategy of Arsenal Football Club, it makes no sense. From the fact that you've gone for you know that there's a club that is in deep trouble, like Arsenal. In your genius wisdom, I'll go and get the person that has zero experience of management or of head coaching. Zero experience. He barely has assistant manager experience. It just don't make no sense. Your top scorer has said, listen, I'll probably stay if you show some sort of ambition to keep me. What he's probably said to them is, listen, I'm on £170,000 a week. You got this idiot over here that's on £350 a week. I'm not asking for £350 a week, but come the fuck on. At least get me somewhere close to that. Now, you probably sat there thinking, oh, how are they supposed to do that? How are they supposed to do that? Well, why? I don't know. How about not nickel and diming over the likes of Mkhitaryan? All right, great. People are going to tell me, yeah, but Mkhitaryan, they're trying to do something clever and trying to get Justin Kluivert through Mkhitaryan. Do you think Roma are so dumb that they're going to let one of their younger players who's supposed to be destined for all this? I'm not particularly convinced by Justin Kluivert, but okay. You know, supposedly he's destined for all this greatness, right? Even they're so dumb to be like, all right, cool. We're going to let one of our best prospects, who's 21 years old, to bring some overrated old man into the club. Come the fuck on. I don't care if they like him. It's just not smart. We don't make good decisions. We don't make good decisions. And once again, we're in a situation, a Van Persie situation, where now we are at the helm of time. We are at the mercy of time. Because by the time this season comes in, Aubameyang is into his last year. So you would have thought, during this time when we've been off, when everyone's been off work, everyone's been working from home, you know where Aubameyang is. Everyone uses Zoom or Duo or Meets or Teams. Heck, I use one of them for work. Heck, I use StreamYard for this. This is not hard. Where's your agent at, bruh? Let's all have a chit chat and find out what we can do to keep you. Now that we've got time, we might as well use that time effectively. And you, man, ain't even offered him a contract. He's probably sat there thinking, all right, fuck this. The fuck, what the fuck? I'm getting grief from Arsenal supporters every single day like it's me. It's them. And that is frustrating. From an Arsenal fan's perspective, I cannot tell you how frustrating it is that once again we're in a situation where we're probably going to lose our best player this summer. Again. Because we don't seem to have the ability to just get our shit in order and make good decisions. Even if your decision is sell Aubameyang, cool, sell him then. So it puts us all out of all of our misery, and then hopefully we can see what next steps you plan to take. I don't believe in necessarily against selling Aubameyang. I wouldn't. But okay, if he wants to go, then I would sell him. I've always said the same thing. If he wants to go, I would sell him. But at least have some sort of plan. Have some sort of plan. And I've just seen what Versus says in the chat room. Even if you said to yourself, all right, well, he wants 350, we can't afford it. He wants £300,000 a week, we can't afford it. Heck, he wants £275,000 a week, we can't afford it. Then you sell him. Be decisive. Because the thing is that Arsenal fans wouldn't be shitting themselves the way they're shitting themselves if Arsenal had just decided to make a decision and say, all right, cool, this is what we're going to do. We're going to let Lacazette go to Atletico Madrid because that's what he wants. And we want Partey. Let's make that happen. We're going to let Aubameyang go because we can't afford to keep him. This team is interested in keeping him. This is our maximum. 250 is our maximum. If he won't accept it, cool, let's sell him. Let's go and get an Usman Edouard. Are you telling me if we did those things, at least half of the fan base that's shitting themselves now ain't going to be shitting themselves moving forward? Because like Nimsy says in the chat room, quite honestly, the squad needs an overhaul anyway. So start it. Oh, and I'm dreading it because I know at some point I do these transfer rumor shows. So I know at some point I'm going to see Spanish Girl Boy come out, Asian Ivan come out, and they're going to start speaking some bullshit about why they couldn't keep Aubameyang. It's only going to piss me off. It's only going to piss me off, and I ain't trying to be spitting all over the place and fuming over some shit that, let's be honest, all of us deep down know are going on anyway. We all know what's going on anyway. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to make me mad as well. But we are our worst enemy when it comes to these sort of things. Our worst enemy. Why isn't the Saka thing tied up? Have we even offered him a contract? Have we even had talks? Because I'll be honest, I'm expecting to see that news story any second that Arsenal have not even opened up talks since February for Bukayo Saka. Why? Why? Oh, because you want to see how much you got to spend? Because you can't, because apparently Arsenal are the only football club in the world that can't seem to sell players. Flipping heck, I saw a story yesterday about the fact that Mikel Arteta wouldn't mind keeping Mkhitaryan. I'm like, oh, I mean, oh my god, oh my gosh, like what? Why? What do you expect him to do? What exactly do you expect to see from Mkhitaryan at the age of 31 that you ain't already seen him do? What are you expecting? He wants to go. We need him to go. That is a big wage on our bill that we could do without. Just get rid. I said to you before, I would take 10 million and call it a day. Because all this talk about, we're going to try and sell him for Justin Kluivert. I'm going to lie, Roma will be the biggest dunces in the world they agreed to that deal. And I know what the deal is. The deal is supposedly something along the lines of it'll be a double swap loan deal with the obligation from our end to buy. Because I think Mkhitaryan's in the last, is it year or 18 months of his contract? So he'll be damn near worth nothing if he's still got something on his contract. And I think Kluivert is on the last 2 years of the contract. And in my opinion, the only reason this is even a story is because they have the same agent and we have a good relationship with said agent. That's the only reason it's a story. There is no way Roma are agreeing to that. No way. If we want Kluivert, we're gonna have to put on the money. Supposedly he's worth 36 million. We're gonna have to put that up. I'm not convinced by him, and I'm certainly not convinced we need him. But if that's what you want, that's what's gonna take. Then I'm seeing stories about Aubameyang this, Aubameyang that. Flipping heck. Seeing stories about the fact that, I'll be like saying they've lowered their fee and it's going to be 30. Do you see Arsenal pulling out 36 million for Aubameyang? I don't. Supposedly, the reason that this story is now become a story is because apparently AC Milan tried to make a move for Aubameyang and they were told that Aubameyang is going to Arsenal. And obviously, we haven't had any kind of rebuttal. We haven't had any kind of denial from any of the parties. So obviously, people just assume that, okay, it's done. They're stalling over Partey. I'll be shocked if they just pull out 36 mil out of their ass for Aubameyang. But yes, if you had to say to me now, genuinely, if you said to me, all right, Chig, genuinely, in your opinion, if you lost Aubameyang, let's say Torreira and a Mustafi, and then you brought in a Jovic or a Jonathan David, a Partey, and an Aubameyang, yeah, we'd be better. We'd be better. At least 2/3 of that spine will be a lot better. It'll be a lot stronger. And then you've got the last third of that spine that's got the potential, at least, to be a lot better, a lot stronger. But at least I wouldn't be bitching because I could see some sort of plan. Arsenal, once again, dithering. And the other thing that people are going to say is, all right, well, you don't see any club, you don't see other clubs buying players or this, that, and the other. Cool. We're ninth, though. We're ninth. Quite frankly, I'm not being funny enough, but we should have been making plans in January to be like, yeah, we can't do this shit next year. So we need to make plans from now. That from this time next year, we're staring at relegation, which at one point we were staring at. We're ninth. If there's one team that should be making plans to improve from day dot, it's Arsenal Football Club. Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I think it was Hacks just say, I've drained all of his hope. I'll be honest. I went well earlier today. I was coughing and shit. And then I saw Lee's transfer update. And I thought, let me actually look into this properly, right? And I looked into it and I just saw Aubameyang's quote. And I laughed and I just kissed my teeth and I went back to sleep. I'll be honest. I went back to sleep. For me, of all the things that I saw today, that was easily the most disappointing thing I heard. It's like, maybe Van Persie was right. These motherfuckers don't make any kind of effort to keep you after a certain period of time. They make no effort whatsoever. It is what it is, but I feel like, for me, I didn't necessarily expect to cover all the subjects in one setting, but I was very disappointed to see that. And, after 35 minutes of bitching and whining, I'm just drained. I am drained with Arsenal's bullshit. I am hoping that, the Premier League is back next week. I could be distracted by Arsenal shit football next week. And then who knows, maybe it might shock this board to do some shit, improve something, make some kind of decision, heaven forbid, in quotation marks. But at least they might do something, to be some kind of forward-thinking club and make some kind of decision. But until then, we are where we are. We've got a short transfer window. Things I'm expecting over the next couple of weeks for someone else to swoop in for Partey and get him. Because Arsenal are just, they're born slipping. You know, I'm expecting someone to swoop in for Aubameyang because once again, Arsenal are born slipping. You know, and maybe we might actually get a Jonathan David or an Usman Edouard. Who knows? Or we might be forced to keep an Alexandre Lacazette because, again, Arsenal are born slipping. They're born slipping. Oh, Arsenal, man. Arsenal. I ain't gonna lie. So why somebody said to me, are you excited about Arsenal coming back? I'm excited about football coming back. I'm not necessarily excited about Arsenal coming back because for me, it's going to be the same disappointments, us making the same mistakes, the board making the same refusal to improve things. Because I said to you guys a few days ago, and people laughed. People absolutely laughed. And actually, in some ways, I got it. What is stopping them? What is stopping Stan from saying, all right, we don't have financial fair play to worry about this shit, right? Let me go all out on these motherfuckers. I'm going to give you guys 150 million, right? 150 million. It's not the most. Make it work, right? 150 million, right? You guys make, and here's some suggestions. I would suggest selling him, this guy, and topping it off to 200 million. I think you could get more, but let's be modest about it, right? What is stopping them from taking 90 of that million and saying, oi, what team does he play for? Leverkusen. Is that what he plays for? Leverkusen. Give us Havertz, bro. How much you want for him? 100 million? Nah. We'll give you 90 though. What's stopping them? Because people will laugh. But I guarantee if I told you a month ago that Chelsea were going to end up with Timo Werner, even Chelsea fans would have been like, oh, I know about that. Go there and ask them the question. Ask them the freaking question. And don't get me wrong, I know that number 10 is the last thing we need. But flip, it at least sends a statement. So that then when you go and get a player that you actually need, like a Partey or like an Aubameyang, and they've just seen that you've gone and got Havertz, they're going to be excited to join the club. Why the fuck would Thomas Partey be excited to join Arsenal right now? Why? Oh, flip. So I'm gonna lie, the Birmingham fan pissed me off. It pissed me off reading that today. It pissed me off. So we didn't even offer him anything. Oh. Anyway, guys, I know I've depressed you guys enough tonight. So I won't go on and on. But if you liked this podcast, I can't imagine you have, because it's literally been 40 minutes of me ranting. Please do stick a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please do join the membership if you can. I've just done a bunch of things on there. Some more is due to go on there. If you are having problems becoming a member, just leave it in the comments below. I will speak to YouTube and see what I can do about that. Like I said, I think it is something very, very simple. I think it's just a case of just not done enough stickers. As stupid as that sounds, I think that literally is the problem. So I'll look into that and make sure I can do something about that shortly. Should we have a chit chat for the next 10 minutes? Let's have a chit chat for the next 10 minutes. All right, guys, let's see what you lot are saying. Once again, please do stick a like on this video. Alex, you're very outspoken, Green and Eagle Eye. I don't hear this anywhere else. I try not to do it too often because people will just say, oh, that I'm being overly negative. And I guess actually for me, that's why I like doing the transfer in the show, because not only does it give people an indication of the positions that we're looking at, but actually, in a weird way, it's me trying to be optimistic that actually Arsenal, even though I know deep down I know better, but that maybe they're trying to look for ways, inventive ways of trying to improve the team. You know, if Partey comes to Arsenal, then he has no ambition. I'll be honest, I'm starting to think the same thing. Is the window actually open? Yeah, we can sign players, Daniel. Apparently, it opened on the 10th of June. So we can sign players. I'm fuming. Chig, is there a reason that there is a reason we call the same old Arsenal every season transfer window? Yep, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. So Uber is taking a piss now. Need a squad overhaul anyway. Um, all right, I'm literally eight more minutes and I'm out of here. Hold on. Chig, I've always said that ambitious players will never come to Arsenal, or they will leave Arsenal after they become world class, and then I'm going to Barcelona or Real Madrid. Unfortunately, yeah, that's the situation we're in, because we're not ambitious enough to do what's required. And sometimes that's not even necessarily about spending money. No, it's what I'm saying is not about spending money, but it's about making decisions. How have you decided that you're not going to offer Aubameyang any sort of contract? The person that's scoring goals. And okay, even if that's the strategy, what are you doing to replace him? Nothing. Nada. Instead of seeing stories that, oh, well, Arsenal play him into the last year of the contract, because of course that would be the next genius move. They'll play him into the last year of his contract, and then of course we let him go for free, because Arsenal struggle to sell players. They struggle to do what's required to sell players. It's the only club I've known that are like that. It's like they just struggle. They run out of ideas. They don't know how to do anything. It's so infuriating. It's so infuriating. And for those people saying, and I've just seen it a couple of times on the readback, that, oh, well, Partey's a bit overrated. Bro, you can't be telling me that if Partey doesn't come into the squad, he's the best central midfield that we have. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Come on. Let's stop it. I know we have a tendency to say that this player's overrated, that player's overrated. He's the best. He would be the best midfielder in our team, comfortably. Chig, would you sell Luis for free and sell it to Benfica? Well, if he's going for free, we're not selling him. He'll just be leaving to go to Benfica. I would let him go. I've said it from day one. If the whole reason that people were losing their mind when I think it was Keown, I was saying, no, well, you can't lose David Luiz on a free. And in my mind, I'm like, why? Oh, because of his experience. So if his experience is mainly of him being shit, why do we need that experience? I would rather get a Thiago Silva, and people are laughing at the idea of Thiago Silva because he's 35 years old. If you look at it, I'm not really a stats guy, but if you look at his stats, this guy does not play like no 35-year-old, right? My man is, I think he's second behind Van Dijk when it comes to one-on-one duels in Europe. We're talking about. I'd rather that experience than someone who's shit, who's always been shit. He has got amazing. That's another one that's got great PR. Great PR. Um, and Luis is on hella money. He's on a decent chunk, £120,000 a week. That's another one you could just get rid of. Get rid of him. Do you know what I mean? But it's true though. It's true. Who wants experience if that experience is of that person being terrible? Why do we need that experience? I don't care if it's good for the dressing room. Cool. That's. It's like people like, oh yeah, but we need him because of the dressing room. You're getting carried away. Yeah, cool. You know we're ninth though. Oh, we can't afford to lose Aubameyang. Who's going to score the goals? Cool. Aubameyang's in the team, and we're ninth though. We don't get much lower. Might as well roll the dice and try something else because our current tactic is not working. I'm sick of people saying, "Oh, well, we can't do that because of this, and we can't do that because of this." Like Arsenal are doing something right now. We're ninth. You may as well roll the dice at this point. All right. Well, the last thing I'm going to address before I get up out of here for the last 3 minutes is Ainsley Maitland-Niles going for 20 million. This is another one that disappoints me a lot because for me, yes, he's been late. And actually, I'm one of the few people that understand the idea of disciplining someone that is late to training. It's just like you would for work. If you're late to work, guess what? You get disciplined, you know? But you don't get sacked for being late. I wouldn't recommend a manager to sack somebody because someone is consistently being late. I'd try and get the manager to understand the reasons for that lateness. Try and get that manager to re-educate that person when it comes to being late. This is one of our listen, I'm going to pretend like Ainsley Maitland-Niles is an amazing player, but this was a player that was improving under Mikel Arteta. And then all of a sudden has been made to be this example. Meanwhile, you're begging the model to stay. You're begging the model to stay. Come on. Come on. We're not smart and we are terrible at making decisions. Any decision we make tends to be the wrong one, and it tends to take us 10 years before we get there. Having said all of the things I'm saying, if we somehow got 20 million for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, please use it properly. I've heard rumors today that it's going to be used for Aubameyang's contract. Okay, so be it. And I like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, so be it. So be it. Or if it's going to be used to bring in a Partey or bring in a good defender, so be it. But for me, I think it's a shame. I'd rather sell a Hector Bellerin for 25 million, which I think we could comfortably get for Hector Bellerin. You know, I'd rather sell a Granit Xhaka for 20 million. I'd rather sell a Mustafi for 15 million. I can keep going. I'd even rather sell a Rob Holding for 20 million. I'd rather do any of these things than sell a Maitland-Niles. But if we get that, I ain't complaining. Does anyone sitting here think that Arsenal are going to sell Ainsley Maitland-Niles for 20 million and we're going to use that 20 million responsibly? I don't. I'm going to lie to you. I don't. Straight up. I definitely don't. But it is what it is, people. All right. I know I'm depressed you guys enough. So let me get up out of here. Please do stick a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. My Instagram is Gina_Eagle_I. The link to that Instagram is in the description below. Give me a follow on that. I'm trying to build my numbers on Instagram. My Twitter is @ColossalChig. I'm not on Twitter often, but feel free to follow me on that if you prefer. The Combat Show is on every single Friday evening. That is the second of 3 YouTube channels I have. So make sure if you want to talk about MMA or boxing, please do join me on that channel. My movie channel, Chiflix, again, the link to that is in the description below. I'm going to be doing a couple of music video reactions, including reviewing Dave Chappelle's recent comedy special. So I'm going to be reviewing all of those things in the next couple of days. I think that is pretty much it, guys. I'm out of here. I'm sorry for ranting. Please enjoy your evening. Take care.